Hi, I'm going to show you another effect that I find cool and I want to recreate in 3D. This time, it's the same music video as last time, but here I saw these crystal balls with these cracks that are glowing, and I can recreate that in Blender, and I'm going to show you how. First, I open up Blender, new project, version 2.93. It doesn't matter really. Very simple effect. We just add a cube, and we're gonna add a whole lot of cubes. So I'm going to duplicate this a whole bunch of times. Shift D and then escape, Shift D and then escape, Shift D and then escape, Shift D and then escape. Do that a whole lot. Doesn't really matter how many that is. So now the newly created cubes, I'm going to move into a new collection. Hover over this thing, hit M, say new collection, call that what was it? Intersect, because we're going to use the Boolean modifier with the intersect setting. So now I'm going to select each individual cube in this collection, activate the rotate tool, click into this area and rotate it randomly. I'll just select the next cube, click around, rotate, drop it off somewhere, it doesn't matter. Do that with every single cube until you have a really nice seemingly random distribution of cubes that are oriented in all kinds of weird ways. And yeah. So how many more? Okay, that was it. So now I can collapse this collection, select the original cube, go into the modifiers, add the Boolean modifier, operand type collection, intersect. That's the collection, and it will take a while, but it will do. Yeah, we have to select the intersect. We'll click this button here. It should make an intersect of this collection that we called intersect. So that's the result. It's basically done. That's the modeling part. What it basically does is I can hide that quickly, just to show you. In a normal example, I have a cube, and then I have another cube, and I rotate this around, and when I intersect this cube with the other cube, it takes all the parts of the geometry that are present in both cubes, if that makes any sense to you. And if you do that with a whole bunch of cubes, you get that really cool effect. It doesn't really it's a bit hard to demonstrate it, because yeah, maybe that's how I can demonstrate it. It will only keep what's inside both of these cubes. So from here you can see it. That's what's gonna be left, and then I hide that cube, and there we go. That's what's left. So I'm gonna delete these two cubes that I used to demonstrate, and show that original cube that I did it with the 11 other cubes, and this is the final result. So that geometry already looks very similar to what we saw here. So geometry done. Now materials and shading. So first we make the normal crystal material for the base. Wait a second. I'll apply this Boolean modifier, or else my computer is just going to struggle with every single step. And then I'm basically done. I don't need this anymore. So now it's applied. Now it's actual geometry. I can go into edit mode and I have the vertices as if it's all modeled, because it is. So now materials. That's the step. We want to make a crystal material. Crystals are a bit more specular, maybe a bit less rough. They have a color. Let's give it a little bit of a texture. I'll change this into the shader editor, and I'll add some textures, a Voronoi texture, because crystals, Voronoi, that works. I hope, maybe, I don't really know. Add a color, mix RGB, and another texture, maybe a noise texture. Just a very basic, very simple texture setup. Into preview mode, just so it's illuminated from all the sides, so I can actually see what's going on. Plug this into the base color. Nope, that's not what we want. We want something else in between. I take another mix RGB node, duplicate that. I want to have a light yellow and a darker yellow / orange or whatever, and mix those based on this pattern. Plug this into the factor. So I'll preview this result here, so you can see it has facets, and I want some dark parts and some bright parts. So I'm going to add a color ramp, converter color ramp, to make this noise texture a little bit more standing out. I'll flip these around, move this here, and maybe bring them a little bit closer together, so I have dark parts and bright parts. Yeah, I can tweak the settings as I want, like this. I think I like this. Good. So let's preview this, and I might keep this. Play with the factor. I make the Voronoi texture a little bit. I increase the scale to make the facets a little bit smaller. And yeah, I think I like this. Okay, this is the base. This is the base for our crystal texture, and yeah, I'll show the wireframe. So for the next part, you have to understand what's actually going on. I want all of these edges to be a little bit wider, also known as beveling. I want to bevel them and give those resulting new faces a new material, a glowing material, to make it look like these cracks have something glowing beneath. That's what I want to achieve, and that's exactly what I can do with the bevel modifier. So select this rock, go into the modifiers, add a bevel modifier. Width type, I'll choose percent. Let it bevel like 5%. A single segment, I don't need more. Maybe a bit wider. limit method, I want every single edge, so none. So these edges have now been made wider, and it results into new faces. That's what I wanted to achieve. So I can see the result before it adds a material. Because here in shading, in the Bevel Modifier, I open the shading, and I can add a material by index. Index is this is index 1. The next in the list would be no, this is index 0. Lists always start with 0 and then go on with 1. It's a little bit complicated, maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but whenever indices always start with 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So index 1 would be the second item, and that's going to be a glowing material. So I just scroll down, emission color. I want that a bright yellow, so like this. Give it emission strength. So that's the material that we want to have in the cracks. So that's what I'm going to set up here. Go back into the modifiers, into Bevel Modifier, shading, index 1, and that's basically it. I'll hide the wireframe so it doesn't distract. Yeah, that's basically the effect. Now we can make it look cool. Under render settings, render engine Eevee has a function bloom, which when you turn it on, bright pixels are going to be blurred, and that just looks nice. And that's basically the effect. I mean, it looks kind of like in the video. Here. So I can make the world background, world settings, color, make it a little bit dark. Let's give it a red, dark red background, and go into rendered view. Yeah, that. Turn this off. Now you can render it. Or maybe a dark blue spacey stuff. Because what was it in the video? I don't even know. Yeah, it was dark blue with clouds and stars. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. I only wanted to do the rock, and that was it, I guess. See ya.